back to a new review today. We're talking about the highly anticipated Halloween Kills. The excitement levels through the roof when it comes to Halloween Kills. This was my most anticipated horror film for all of 2021 and last year as well before all of the delays. With the promotional material that was so fantastic leading up to the film's release, I couldn't wait to dive back into the next chapter of the battle between Laurie Strode and Michael Myers, as the film is going to debut next week in theaters and also on Peacock. It's going to be on Peacock as well, don't forget that. Halloween Kills picks up where we left off in the last film. Michael Myers is left burning in Laurie's basement as they're all on their way to the hospital, but Michael somehow manages to free himself from the traps in the basement and the bloodbath continues. So Laurie and the city of Haddonfield attempt to prepare themselves to face off against Michael once again. To me, Halloween Kills absolutely lived up to the hype. It's not every day that you call a slasher film, especially a Halloween film, a crowd pleaser, because that's just not the term you use for this type of film. But if you're a huge fan of the Halloween franchise, it 100% is, because the film kicks so much ass and it's so thrilling from start to finish. We are many films deep in this franchise at this point. This is our 12th installment in the franchise. We've explored many avenues, different types of stories, following various different versions of the timeline as Halloween's been around for 43 years. We've done it all, but I love that David Gordon Green was able to give us a fresh perspective with all these characters that we know and love, giving us an epic slasher film along the way as well that fans and audiences want to go see. Halloween Kills is absolutely brutal. It's just an insanely extreme level of intensity that I'm not quite used to in the Halloween franchise, other than maybe the Rob Zombie films, but even then, this definitely rivals those films when it comes to the gore factor. A quote that has always stuck with me leading up to the film is David Gordon Green saying that the film is twice the thrills, 10 times the kills, and with a statement like that, how could you go wrong? Also, the fact that that is a completely accurate statement. The brutality of Michael Myers in Halloween Kills is at an all-time high, practically tearing through people throughout the entire film, just showing you how horrifying Michael Myers can be when he's let on the loose once again. And absolutely nothing is left to the imagination here. We linger on a lot of really gruesome shots, whether it be excessive stabbings, Michael Myers is poking his fingers through people's eye holes, stuff like that. Traumatic, gory kind of mess that is great if you're a big fan of the slasher genre, but also if you're squeamish, you might not want to watch this film. Another angle I really appreciated when it comes to Michael Myers in this film is just kind of exploring the lore of Michael Myers, especially when it comes to the town of Haddonfield, and just the sheer impact and trauma he's left upon all these other people in the town other than Laurie Strode. Of course, Laurie Strode is the most affected trauma-wise by Michael Myers, but the sheer amount of trauma left behind from various well-known characters in the town over the generations makes it all the more satisfying when the town does collectively take matters into their own hands to try and take on Michael Myers themselves and end things once and for all. Of course, it is Michael Myers, so things don't go as planned for them, but it's still a very exciting element in the story, especially with all the familiar faces that we recognize from previous installments in the franchise. Just from a pure nostalgia level, seeing Kyle Richards return back to the series, we see Tommy Doyle once again, but he is played by a different actor this time around, but Anthony Michael Hall does kick some ass in this. He is pretty great, although I do kind of wish that Paul Rudd came back to portray Tommy Doyle just because he is such a big megastar now and he wasn't when the 6th film came out, but you know, it is what it is. Also, just because I feel like I have to touch upon it at least a little bit, I do love, once again, the score done by John Carpenter and several other people, including his son. Once again, great score. I'm glad that he's still involved with these films in some shape or form. Fantastic, chilling. I think that it does elevate the film a lot. I'm probably going to actually pick up the soundtrack after this because it was so good. Much like in the 2018 Halloween, the Strode women once again are some of the most badass females put to screen in the horror genre. Laurie Strode is just as badass as ever, but I do think that Judy Greer is able to steal some really great scenes along the way as well, like she did in the last film. But Jamie Lee Curtis once again does carry the torch as the resilient, fantastic character Laurie Strode that we know and love, and proves even more so in Halloween Kills why she's the ultimate final girl. Just having Jamie Lee Curtis in the films really does elevate the material and gives it a lot more stakes, other than, of course, Halloween Resurrection. We don't talk about that film. But as many of us know, this is the middle film in the Blumhouse Halloween trilogy, so this is kind of a setup film for the finale, the big epic finale. If I had any gripes with the film, I do think the setting up for Halloween Ends kind of does dampen some of the third act excitement, especially since we're well aware of the fact that this is an in-between film, so you know there's going to be a follow-up that's going to end things. It doesn't entirely take me out of the film at all, but because you know that fact, it kind of does lower some of the stakes of the film. However, the plot threads that we do leave dangling for the third and final installment, Halloween Ends, does make me very excited for that installment to come out. I can't wait to see just how that film does end. But yeah, overall, I think that Halloween Kills is another very good installment in the Halloween franchise. As a Halloween fan, I left the film completely satisfied between how it crafts a great balance of gruesome slasher moments that you love for the horror genre, while also still being able to keep me on my toes with the human drama as well. It's certainly a horror film that knows exactly what it is, and that's what I love about it. It's not trying to be like an Academy Award-winning film, which is kind of weird because of the fact that it did premiere at the Venice Film Festival and it got bad reviews, which of course it did because it's not that kind of film for these kind of people. If you're a longtime fan of horror, you know that most horror films score pretty poorly when it comes to critic score. There's kind of the audience scores that really matter, especially the hardcore slasher fans, the horror fans of the genres. So make sure you guys go out and check out Halloween Kills, whether you go see it in theaters or it'll be on Peacock as well if you want to watch it at home. Now that you've heard my thoughts on the Halloween Kills, though, make sure you share your thoughts down below. When you do get a chance to check out the film, did you like the film? Did you not like the film? Do you have any thoughts, theories about what's to come next in Halloween Ends? I think it potentially could be even more crazy than this installment. I don't know how, but I just have a feeling it's going to be probably the most nuts of the 3 films, because you want to go out with a bang, right? Anyway, thank you guys for checking out my reviews today. I really appreciate it. Make sure to like and subscribe button. We'll keep doing reviews, reactions, boxes, and more on the channel. Until next time, I'll see you guys later.